World War II – Battles at North Africa between Axis power and Allied power. I'm going to use this key, as you can see from the screen, to explain the battles at North Africa during World War II. Red arrow shows Axis moves and blue arrow shows Allied moves, and this beige color territory shows Allied gain and green Axis gain. The North African Campaign. Mussolini orders his army to attack British-controlled Egypt. They wanted Suez Canal there, which was key to oil fields of Middle East. If they can gain this territory, Germany can block oil to British and cut British off from India. Then Germans can threaten Russian southern flank. So on September 13, 1940, Italy invades Egypt from Cyrenaica, Libya. By September 16th, they pushed 60 miles from Cyrenaica into Sidi Barrani. Then British strikes back. On December 9, 1940, British attack Axis, and 2 days later they gain back Sidi Barrani. Then they drive west into Axis territories. British forces gained Bardia on January 5, 1941 and Fortress of Tobruk on January 22nd. Italian forces kept retreating, but they got trapped by British forces at Betafoam. British forces captured nearly 190,000 prisoners there. British drive stopped at El Agheila on February 9th when German General Rommel and his troop Afrika Korps arrived at Tripoli in western Libya. Then, on March 24, 1941, Rommel with his troop Afrika Korps attacked British forces at El Agheila, making British forces to retreat. British retreated to Tobruk on April 9th. With Tobruk still in control of British forces, Axis forces are back to where they started at Salon by April 15th. Rommel faced to take control of Tobruk despite the series of April attacks. They only defeated British counterattack in May and June. After that, it was 4 months of stalemate. During that time period, British organized its 8th Army and Rommel rejected reinforcements from Germany. On November 18, 1941, British troop Monty, with General Montgomery's lead, attacks and starts pushing into west again. However, German counterattacks. Fighting continues until Rommel upsets defeat and retreats to west. British started to go across the desert to trap Axis force while they're retreating at Betafoam. However, Rommel defended by having a strong defense line which was holding open the coastal corridor. Then, Axis forces retreated over Agadir to Al Agheila on December 30th. That time, Axis still holds Bardia and Salon, but is taken by Allied forces later in January 1942. Again, on January 5th, Axis convoy arrived at Tripoli ready for counterattack. On January 21, 1942, Rommel and his troops pushed his Allied forces to east, Gazala. Then there was a slight short pause for rebuilding their forces. May 28th, German forces goes around British left flank, and after 2 weeks, German forces made British forces to retreat back and takes control of Tobruk, Libya again with 30,000 Allied prisoners. Rommel and his troop advanced far into Egypt and they reached El Alamein on July 1st. British forces tried to go around them, but it turns out to be a failure. So General Montgomery decided that there's the only way to have massive frontal attack called Battle of El Alamein at the night of October 23, 1942. On November 4th, after fighting 12 days straight, Rommel begins retreating westward with Monty chasing after them and taking over their territories on their way. On January 23, 1943, Monty took over Libya capital Tripoli and starts to cross over Tunisian border on February 4th. While Monty advances westward, on November 8th, Allied troops landed on Oran, Algeria, and Casablanca to begin their plan, Operation Torch. Part of Operation Torch was to make Vichy French forces in Morocco and Algeria to surrender, and they did soon after Allied troops arrived there. German troops retreated to Tunisia. February 14, 1943, Rommel plans a massive offensive attack at Kasserine Pass against American troops. Rommel was ordered from Germany to go to north, but it was stopped by Allied reinforcement, and he was instead forced to be removed from Kasserine on February 22nd. March 20th to 26th, Monty attacks Axis on Mareth Line and progresses into north. Meanwhile, there was also another Allies attack from the west, pushing Axis forces westward into small area around Tunis and Bizerte. So on May 7th, Allies enters Tunis and Bizerte on May 9th. And Allies declare victory on May 13, taking 275,000 prisoners with them.